Welcome back to DoorsTheory. Today, we're diving deep into the Foundation teaser trailer and breaking down everything we can learn from it. We've been waiting years for this moment, and now that we finally have a real teaser, there's so much to go over. First, we'll watch the footage as it is, then brighten the video to catch anything hiding in the shadows. This trailer is already hours old, but let's really dig into what it shows us. So right from the start, we see a dimly lit room. There's a door ahead, and at first, it looks like it doesn't have a number on it, which made me think that maybe it was some kind of special room that exists outside the normal progression of numbered doors. But then the player walks through, and we realize that we were just looking at the back of the door. Once we see the front, it does have a number. We just don't know what it is yet. So that tells us that this is part of the main game's structure, not some weird hidden area. But that doesn't mean there's nothing strange about this place. The environment immediately gives off a really eerie, abandoned feel. The lighting is dim, but not so dark that you can't see. It's just enough to make everything feel off. The walls look aged, and there are objects scattered around in a way that makes it seem like whoever was here before left in a hurry or just abandoned the place completely. The further the player moves inside, the more we start seeing different interactable objects, hiding spots, and other small details that make the world feel lived in. It's the kind of environment that tells a story just by existing. You can tell this place used to be something else before it became whatever it is now, and that's what makes it so creepy. We then move to a clip where the camera pans to show a variety of objects. On the left side, there's a knockdown modular drawer box and a hiding locker. The clutter and mess around the room add to the sense of abandonment, but it also suggests that this is a place people used to be in. It's as if the player is walking through the remnants of something long past. As we continue, we see door 116 ahead. The player walks toward it, and it's clear that this is one of the game's key doors. We don't know much about it yet, but it's definitely going to be a focal point in the game. It's intriguing how the player moves toward it without hesitation, like they know exactly where they're going, but at the same time, there's this sense of uncertainty in the air. What's behind that door? We can only speculate for now, but it feels like we're getting closer to something important. Now, let's talk about that crowbar. This is something I actually talked about all the way back in Sneak Peek 2, which was 10 months ago. And now we're finally seeing it in the game. The player is holding the crowbar, and we get a really good look at a door that's been completely blocked off with planks. It's clear that we're going to be using the crowbar to break through, but what's more interesting is what's behind that door. And this is something I've thought about for a while. I actually believe this leads to a sub-room, something that exists outside of the normal structure of the game. And I think this specific one might have a garden or nature theme. That would be really interesting, especially in contrast to the rest of the Foundation, which feels so industrial and decayed. A room like that would feel completely different, almost like nature is trying to reclaim the building. If that's the case, then it opens up a lot of possibilities. Could there be more subrooms hidden behind other blocked doors? Maybe different areas have completely different themes. The fact that we're breaking into places that aren't normally accessible makes me wonder just how much of this game is going to be about exploration, rather than just moving forward. And speaking of that, the trailer also brings back something really nostalgic, the banging on the wall. This is a sound we first heard in Sneak Peek 3, and hearing it again now is honestly surreal. It takes me right back to when we were first speculating about what this could mean, back when we had barely anything to go on. Now, all this time later, it's actually here in the teaser for the full game. It really puts into perspective how long we've been waiting for this and how much has changed since those early sneak peeks. Then we get something completely new, Decoy. This is a new entity, and what makes it really interesting is how it changes how we think about hiding. Decoy acts like hide, but instead of kicking you out of lockers, it waits inside them. That means if you aren't careful and jump into a locker without checking first, you'll take damage. I don't know exactly how much damage it does, but it's definitely enough to make lockers a risk instead of just a safe spot. Before, lockers were always something you could rely on, but now, every time you go to hide, you have to hesitate for a second and make sure you're not about to make a mistake. What's also interesting, Decoy used to be purple electricity in a locker, but it turns out he was black electricity with purple eyes altogether. But now, in the final version, it's white. That change could mean something, or it could just be a design choice, but either way, it's something worth noting. Then we get a really strange moment. The ceiling has holes in it, and through those holes, we can actually see outside. But here's the thing. We have never seen what's outside of the foundation before. This is the first time we're actually getting a glimpse beyond these walls, and that's huge. But the question is, what is out there? Right now, we have no way of knowing. It could just be a void, or it could be something much worse. The fact that this place has open gaps in the ceiling also adds to the abandoned feel. It's not even fully sealed off anymore. Whatever's outside is already starting to creep in. Then we get a moment that completely changes the mood. The ceiling light shatters. The glass falls to the ground, and the screen cuts to black. I don't know if this is a scripted moment, or if lights can randomly break as you play. Pretty much just a random event that causes a series of rooms to be dark before you find a room with a power box. But either way, it adds to the tension. It makes it feel like this place is falling apart around you. If this happens dynamically, then that's going to make the game feel even more unpredictable, which I love. And then we get to the best part, the elevator cutscene. I talked about this in a previous video when I covered that old sneak peek photo that showed Guiding Light's 4 chains slowing the elevator down. But now, in the teaser, those chains aren't even visible anymore. Instead, we just see a blue glow. And I'll be honest, I was completely wrong about how much Guiding Light would slow us down. I thought it would just stop us from dying, but no, it does way more than that. It slows us so much that we land without a scratch. That says a lot about how much Guiding Light actually cares about us. It's not just keeping us alive, it's making sure we're completely safe. Then the automatic sliding door opens, and the player moves forward. They go down some stairs, and that's when we see door 101 ahead. We don't know yet what we'll have to do to open it, but it's clearly a key point in the game. The player takes the left path, and that's something I've noticed a lot. The game keeps pushing us left. Maybe it's just a coincidence, or maybe there's a reason behind it. The environment ahead looks even darker, and fog covers the floor. There are sharp rock formations attached to the ceiling, which makes the whole place feel even more dangerous. Then, the screen blurs, and we get the biggest moment of the entire teaser, official trailer, February 15th. Though let's be real, it's probably going to be February 16th. Still, this is huge. After 2 years, we finally have a date. We're not just waiting endlessly anymore, we actually know when it's coming. It's honestly unbelievable to think about how far we've come. We started with nothing but a few teaser images, and now we're seeing full gameplay footage and getting confirmation of a full trailer. And before I go, I just want to say thank you. Reaching 1,000 subscribers right before this moment means the world to me. When I started making these videos, I had no idea so many people would care about these theories. You all made this community what it is, and I appreciate every single one of you. The official trailer is almost here. After all this time, it's really happening. I'll see you all in the next one.